Life in real time has its share of high highs and low lows. Living in the moment privately is one thing, but navigating through private matters, insecurities, and circumstances as a public figure is another. How we operate behind the scenes determines how we show up on the scene. Today's guest is no stranger to being on the scene, while also being invested in her growth, healing, and success behind the scenes. Stay tuned to hear how she is making a stride personally to become the best version of herself, not only publicly, but also privately. Welcome to this episode of Friend Fusion.
Friend Fusion, Friend Fusion, Friend Fusion, Friend Fusion, Friend Fusion,
Friend Fusion, Episode 8, Marker and Action.
Hi friends, I am Trinity Mitchell, better known as your friend Trin, and on today's episode of Friend Fusion, we are going behind the scenes. Now, as you know, it's easy for all of us to show up, look good, feel good, entertain the people, all of the things that are good. But the truth is, behind the scenes, it be a lot sometimes. I have today with me our guest, our new friend. She's a creative, she's a writer, she's an artist, she's a boss woman. I don't know. I'm gonna let y'all see. I don't want to say your name. I want them to see you, baby, because I feel like I'm doing something now. I'm doing something today, friends. Hey. Say hey to our friends, Rita.
Hello, friends.
Y'all welcome Rita Brent to Friend Fusion. I feel so blessed to have you here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Super excited. Yeah. You know, when I first saw you, I was an onlooker, and I was like, wow. So to have you here is like surreal.
When did you first see me? What was I doing?
So, Brandon Mitchell, and you taking me all the way down my questions. I'm not supposed to be here yet. But
Don't
Brandon
worry
Mitchell
about
and
that.
Swap were performing at Tamala Man. And you were hosting. And I thought that was so cool. I just thought you were cool. And then watching you on stage there, I was like, I think at the time I didn't realize you played drums.
Yeah.
And so at the time I was serving as a musician, and then I think is your favorite sport basketball?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So it was a lot of things you were talking about. I'm like, that's my girl, that's my friend, that's my friend. Now look at my friend.
Yeah. In the flesh.
So yeah, it's been a real blessing to watch you evolve, to watch you grow, and then I think the whole time too, even then you were the Rita Brent, like it was a big deal, and you were still like Rita, you know, not unaware of who you are, but not so high that you're gonna touch anybody else.
Yeah.
You came backstage, you greeted us, you know, made us feel like we belonged too, and we were all excited to just be opening up. But you were like, "What's up? Yeah, this our thing. This is
I
all
was
of our
excited to
thing."
be opening up too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was super cool to have you embrace us that way. And so as I've been, you know, watching you grow and evolve, it just feels good to clap for you because I know your heart is so pure.
Thank you.
It's just amazing to witness people like you just. You know, I think for many of us, when we see people like you, we immediately think that they're just, everything is other things, but being in your personal space or being around you before, I know that you have a God-like heart. And so it's good to see you win because I know that God is in it for you. So yeah, I'll be clapping for you, girl.
Oh yeah.
I'm
clapping for you too.
Absolutely. So, you know, I don't want to just hop right into that. I want you to tell us about Rita, the space Rita is in right now. You just released new music. We don't know whether we want to talk to you about writing, being an artist. I don't know. So you just tell us where you are in this space and all the things.
I think maybe this space is called balance.
Okay.
I made a promise to myself last year that I was not going to overwork myself.
Yeah.
Because we can get so caught into that. And I think I'm doing a little bit better this year.
Nice.
I am taking breaks and just finding what I call pockets of peace. It's extremely important to me because I'm always on the go, always traveling, which can be extremely taxing. So I'm just trying to find some balance between life and work and not feel guilty about it.
That's good. So tell me what your pockets of peace look like.
Watching Love is Blind on Netflix.
Okay.
Eating crawfish.
Okay.
being outside with my puppy.
You have a puppy?
Yeah. Well,
What's your puppy's name?
She's 2 years old, so she ain't a puppy, but she's small. Her name is Hazel Moon.
Okay, Hazel Moon.
And my comedian friends Merk B and Nardo tease me because they're like, Hazel, that's an old black lady name. Well, she's a black dog.
Right.
And in dog years, she's elderly, so her name is Hazel. But yeah, just sometimes it's not doing anything. It's peaceful to me. Not responding to emails. Sometimes not even texting people back until I'm ready.
Yeah.
Because there's this forcing of urgency so much in today's world.
Yeah.
Like it's to the point where if I don't respond to an email, somebody messages me on Facebook about the email and they just sent it.
Yeah.
It's like give people some privacy and some time to have some peace.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I seek that often.
I love that. Being that today's discussion is focused on your life off stage, I think it's important that you're already starting with this sentiment of balance, because it is so, you do feel guilty. So how have you been able to overcome, your pockets of peace and not feeling guilty about having them?
I can't say that I'm completely devoid of that guilt.
Okay.
I cannot say that because every moment I'm not working, I'm thinking, oh,
what could I be doing?
Yeah, what could I be doing?
Yeah.
My to-do list is going to be even longer because I'm taking this break.
Yeah.
But my body talks to me and it tells me, you better sit down or I'm going to sit you down.
Yeah.
So just listen to my body.
Your knees hurt too?
Yes, knees, back. I confession, I deal with fibroids. A lot of black women deal with that, which physically impacts my body.
Yeah.
So the body is going to make you sit down. Yeah, it'll force you.
I love that for you. I'm glad that you're listening to your body. A few weeks ago, my good sis, Pastor Sarah Jakes Roberts, preached about listening to our bodies and watching what they do, how they respond to us. And so I love that you just brought that sermon back to mind. It's so important for us to listen to our bodies because they do talk to us, you know?
And also create boundaries.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, then they just will not be in place. If you don't tell folks, hey, I'm taking some time off today, don't bother me. And you even have to have that conversation in your marriage sometimes. Like, hey, I need a me day.
Yeah.
It's not that you are doing anything wrong. I just need a me day.
Yeah.
Because I'm not feeling my equilibrium ain't where it need to be.
Yeah. And
so
sometimes you're not just a spouse, you're still an individual.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A lot of us don't realize that, no matter what position you're in, you're not just the CEO, you're not just whatever, you're a person, you're an individual. And most times in other relationships, we start to take on the identity of whatever that is, the job, the relationship, whatever it is. And we just drain ourselves because we identify by wife, we identify by whatever it is. And living drained. So that's a great sentiment today as well. Yeah. I got to ask you this. How has your transition back to Mississippi been?
It has been sobering. I think when you're younger, all the time you're just thinking, first of all, you're thinking, I got to get out of my mama's house and be on my own. And then you're thinking, I got to get out of the state in which I was born, because for some of us, that is a level of success when you move out of the state. And I enjoyed my time in New York, don't get me wrong. The pandemic did hit while I was there, and that was extremely challenging because we ended up quarantining in Mississippi. But it's just the South in general. I need Southern roots. I need the Southern environment in my spirit. Yeah. I need it.
We're just those kind of people.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, because when you're in New York, man, it's so fast paced. Yeah,
and people don't talk to you.
No. If you wave at somebody, you might get cursed out. They may think you're weird.
Yeah.
So in an entertainment sense, in a career development and growth sense, it is the place to be. I don't think I've ever been as good of a comedian as I was when I was in New York, and when I am in New York, I often go back just to stay fresh.
Yeah.
But in terms of where I want to settle, it's probably gonna be the South for me, and I don't make any apologies about that.
What were your audiences like in New York?
Diverse. Half of the crowd may not have even spoken English, so they were looking at you, but they didn't know what you were saying.
Yeah.
But extremely diverse. I'm talking about all cultures represented, all labels. You can LGBTQIA plus, everybody is represented in New York. So you can literally talk about anything. It's a very racially sound and politically sound state as well. So I can talk about stuff that I can't talk about here in the South.
Yeah, that leads me right to my next question. Now, Mississippi is not a diverse place. Our culture
is if we would acknowledge it.
That part.
Yeah.
So true. But we're very traditional. We're not very easy on change. It's really hard for us. So this leads to my next question. It says, talk about Mississippi being a traditional state. I'm gonna repeat that for recording film. Talk about how Mississippi is a traditional state. Oh, my question is wrong in my notes. I'm so sorry. Being that Mississippi is a traditional state and not very receptive to change, especially in the area of sexuality, right? Tell me, is there a difference in being here, being married, than it is in Atlanta or New York?
Yeah.
How is it? Explain it.
I mean, if you think about it from a racial sense, there's this thing called sundown towns. So that means if you are a black person, you are not to be caught in certain towns after the sun goes down because it could be dangerous for you.
Right.
I sometimes feel that way with my wife, depending on where I am in the state. She trying to hold my hand, like, let my hand go. Okay, we ain't wives right now.
We in Mississippi.
We ain't wives right now. We sisters. Because people be like, this your sister? Yes.
I'm screaming.
If it's gonna save my life, yes. But on a serious note, I have found that we are more alike than we are not. You know, the label is whatever it is, lesbian or whatever it is, but love is love. I really do like that slogan because I'm sure you experience some of the same things in your marriage that I experienced.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter.
It's a relationship.
That's what it is. So once we start to look at it like that, once we start to look at things based on our similarities instead of our differences, we'll find that we have a lot in common.
I love that.
And we can help each other through
Absolutely.
just being vulnerable and being honest.
Absolutely. So with being in Mississippi again with the wife and having to show up as sisters sometimes, let hands go, other things.
She gonna kill me when she hear me say that.
Tell me how that has affected you guys as a couple with moving back here.
I think she's a little more bothered than I am. She really does not want to be in Mississippi because she does feel like it's limiting. But Mississippi is home. It feels like home for me.
Yeah.
You know, she's from Vicksburg.
Okay.
But my grandmother is here. My mother is here. Her parents are here.
Got it.
But she has family in Houston as well, which is a little more liberal. So if she had it her way, we would be in Houston somewhere. So you know, we just work it out.
Yeah.
I think most people are fine with it, you know, because they see me as a human. They don't define me by my sexuality, which I don't think you should anyway.
Right.
But yeah, she gets it. We have conversations and we understand what we need to do when we need to do it.
I love it. I love it. So we mentioned that concert, Tamla Mann concert some years ago, and that's the first time I saw you there. At this concert, I remember screaming at one of your jokes because I was like, oh, nobody else was screaming though. I was the only one laughing.
Okay.
I was like, this girl is crazy. You got up there in front of all these church folks, Rita. First of all, let me just ask you, what is wrong with you? 'Cause you be trying
I don't know what I said.
Okay, so you get up there in front of all these church folks and you have all these jokes about church, everybody's chuckling, everybody loving it. And you say, and y'all gay choir directors. I was like, oh my God, what is wrong with this girl?
I don't even deliver whatever joke you're talking about. I don't say it anymore because you can't say stuff the way you used to.
You are so right. You are so right. But I think what's funny for me is that the truth is you had to hear the context of the joke. It was true.
Yes.
Right. It's hey. I know Friend Fusion, I know y'all watching and y'all may feel away, but we've all seen it, we witnessed it, and it is what it is. It's very much so factual that homosexuality has been a major part of the music ministry in churches. Yeah. You know, but at this time,
the very fiber of it.
Absolutely, absolutely. But at the time, I don't think you were openly gay, right? So I want to know, how has your acceptance of who you are affected your performances?
Oh man, I wish I had done it earlier. I wish I had been honest about who I was earlier, but I was so afraid of backlash. I was so afraid of being alienated and turned against that I waited and I waited. So I started doing comedy in 2013, but I came out of the closet on stage.
Oh wow!
I had a performance in 2019 at the Alamo Theater in front of a crowd of 500.
Just 2019 ago?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. It was a crowd of 525. All kind of folks was in there. Church folks, you name it. My mother didn't know that I was going to do that the way I did it. She was there.
Wow.
She didn't know I was going to do it the way I did it.
But did she know beforehand?
Yeah, I told her back in 99, 2000.
Okay, guys.
But it's like, when I said it, I think the joke was, the reason my husband and I got divorced is because I forgot to tell him I like women. And then people clapped for like 30 seconds. And I was like, oh, they clapping? I didn't expect this response.
Yeah.
And then after the show, I started getting messages. Thank you for being honest. You
Wow.
know, my teen just came out to me. I didn't know how to address it, but you know, thank you for being open. I don't feel alone. I feel seen.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I should have done this a long time ago.
Yeah.
But God's timing is always right. So when I did it, how I did it, it was the right time. And I mean, career just, it's been up from there.
Yeah.
Because I'm not in hiding. I don't have anything to hide. I can be open. I can be vulnerable. I can be who I am unapologetically. And whoever doesn't like it, we just don't have to work together. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I just believe sometimes you have to shed that skin.
Yeah, it's okay.
You know,
it is what
whoever's
it is.
still here, they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And whoever isn't, they're not.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's ridiculous that you even have to question being who you are. Because I just didn't want to be paralyzed like that. I'll tell you what really made me decide to do it. I read Jennifer Lewis's book, The Mother of Black Hollywood. And in the book, she was talking about dealing with bipolar, being bipolar, and she was talking about being promiscuous when she was in her youth. And she was like, if you own your narrative, then nobody can hold it against you.
That's so true, though.
And so I said, well, I need to
It is what it is.
set my own narrative, and I'm so glad I did.
Because, you know, you always run into those demonic spirits out in the world who wants to, quote unquote, out you, expose something about you, other things. But if you owning it, what you got to tell? Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like you said at the beginning, my heart is pure.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
I don't listen to any of that condemnation stuff because I know where I stand with God, and it's a mighty strong relationship.
So we have talked about where you've been, this space you're in, the balance, all the things, right? What would you say your greatest influence is off stage?
In terms of what, just how I live, or?
Or should I say, who is your greatest influence off stage?
Oh,
you can give me both. Who and what?
Man, I got to shout out my mom. Boy, if I think about someone who has been an unconditional supporter.
I love that.
Man, it has been my mom.
She is why you are, right?
Yes.
I think I heard in another interview you were saying she taught you drums.
She's a pianist and a singer, and she put me on the drum set when I was 8. She's been playing in church and music in church since she was 6.
Wow.
And I guess she was like, my baby gotta have a gene because I got it.
Yeah.
And she put me on at 8. We started doing talent shows. She would accompany me in talent shows. You know, I'm singing Greatest Love of All and Fantasia.
All the things.
Twirling my sticks and winning. And the thing was, she never limited me to gender. Drums, of course, is considered a masculine instrument. Not so much now. You see a lot of badass women drummers out. But and my mom never even hit me with that.
Yeah.
Like, you can't play the drums because boys play it.
Yeah.
And she just has done so much cultivating, so much sacrificing, that I really just want to make her proud.
Yeah.
And I am. And it has been a blessing for her to be here and see the accomplishments.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. But just also keeping the values that she instilled in me, you know, which is being a kind, loving individual, and don't be acting different if your finances change.
Yeah. So when you shocked her that night when you came out in front of the audience and everything, what was her response when you finished?
It was not good. It was not good. She wanted to know why I didn't tell her. And I said, because you would have tried to stop me. And it's my story to tell. It's not yours. So we were at, I don't want to say at odds, but it was a little emotional for a while.
Absolutely, yeah.
But our love transcends all. Yeah. I really think I could kill somebody and she would just be like, what you do?
Yeah, yeah.
She's that supportive.
I love it.
Like, foolishly, that's my baby.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
I love it.
And so she sets the example. She sets the example of love. And it's almost the reason why I don't want to have children, because I don't know if I can love like that.
If you could do that, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. When you think about life in terms of seasons, what season of your life has been the most challenging?
man, I'm trying to remember this sermon that Pastor Jennifer Beard over there at Jackson Revival. She went through these seasons. Maybe it's the off season. That's sometimes challenging. And what I mean by off season is like when nothing big is coming in. When I'm just kind of chilling.
Yeah.
And the calendar ain't full.
Yeah.
And then I have come to appreciate the off season.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you have time. What can I do in this time while I'm off? So in the past, the off season worried me, but now I look forward to it.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
So what does off season look like for you now that you're looking forward to it? Is it a lot of pockets of peace, or is it vacations?
It's trying to explore things that I've not yet gotten to. Like I've started writing a book, and I've just not been still.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I've not been still long enough to really delve into it. So in my next off season, I'm gonna really like lock in and try to finish this book.
I love that for you.
And kind of focus more on the music. Comedy is wonderful. I love it. It has opened tons of doors for me.
Yeah.
But I will never be able to abandon the music. So I kind of want to do that Childish Gambino, Jamie Foxx thing where I'm excellent at more than one thing.
I love it.
Yeah. So I kind of want to work on that.
I think you're already there though. I know that it's constantly being cultivated, but I think you're already there because it shows. Your music is great. I think your personality is a part of everything that you do, so I love that as well. But at the root of everything, you're a writer.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's why I feel like you're my friend, because we're just so much alike. Like, you're a writer. Tell me, how often, I know you're working on a book now, but do you journal? How do you cultivate your writing?
I should journal more. Thankfully, my memory is really good. And things are etched in my memory.
Yeah.
I'm sure it would be more detailed if I did journal.
Yeah.
But I send a ton of notes to myself. I am always, like, if you go through my Facebook messages, I message myself every day.
Wow.
With ideas, joke premises.
It's
I
so
mean,
cool.
just years and years of stuff that I've sent myself that I want to get back to.
Yeah.
But reading other people's writing is a way to study as well. I'm just finished reading Gabrielle Union's book. On a weekly basis, I'm just trying to read things and figure out, okay, is that my style, or what can I learn? For instance, Gabrielle Union says she doesn't really believe in balance. She believes in grace, and I thought that was so interesting. And she's like, balance doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Just give yourself grace to fall. Give your partner grace. Give yourself grace. So I learn a lot and shape my own writing from reading other people's work too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's one thing that's definitely improved my writing, is reading other people's work more. It's probably a cliche because I'm a church kid, but I love Bishop Jakes' writing, his style of writing. And I think what I find to be the most interesting is when he says something that is something that we say. One thing that really tickled me in his latest book, Disruptive Thinking, he said something about the homies, and I died laughing because I tend to I'm super excited about reading your book because I take on people's everything, their personality and everything in their writing. And so when I heard him reading, when I heard him say homies, I was so tickled by that. So yeah, I'm gonna have to check out Gabrielle's book. I gotta do it.
I missed the first one and I read the second one, and my mom is reading both of them too. But man, shout out to audiobooks too, because you can, like you said, you can hear people's personality. That is extremely unique. I can't wait to write my own book. I hope people read it.
You'll finish it by the end of the year. I'm challenging you.
All right, challenge accepted. Let's go.
As a comedian, you get to joke about your own life a lot. In fact, I heard you say in another interview that your transparency on stage created the success that you've had publicly. Has there ever been a joke you thought of on a personal level but backed off because it was too embarrassing?
Oh, embarrassing. I don't know, maybe some flatulent stuff. It's probably just not good, you know, too much flatulence humor. Because then people will define you by that. The joke that's the most embarrassing, that's the one everybody will like.
Really?
Yeah, like I have a joke about number 2 shoes when you're in the bathroom.
Oh yeah, where do you remember that one? And now wherever I go in the world, people are like, I got my number 2 shoes, where they say the other word. And I'm like, dang, out of all my materials.
Out of all my material, that's the one you latch on to.
And it's so funny because I literally think about that often. If I'm in public and I have to go to the bathroom or something, I'm like, man, I wish I had some shoes.
Yeah.
That came from you.
Yeah, so I'm laying off the bathroom humor.
That's hilarious.
I don't want people coming up telling me, they doo-doo stories. That's gross.
That is. How have you overcome your doo-doo stories? How have you stopped? What have you done to increase your content? Mm-hmm. What have you done to grow it so that you can still get people to laugh without having to deal with the aftermath of something being inappropriate or just hearing about people's crap, literally?
That's an interesting question because depending on where I am in the world,
mm-hmm.
sometimes more simple humor works.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm in the South, if I'm telling church jokes, they killing.
Yeah.
But when I'm in New York, they have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
If I say God is good, they'll just look at me.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
So it has come with me just being more mature and being more informed, mm-hmm. And just knowing how to tailor my content based on where I am. Because I do corporate gigs too. Like I just did the Memphis Tourism Conference. And, that's a totally different kind of content in comparison to when I'm on tour with Sid.
Yeah.
And even touring with Sid, his audience is a different audience from Ricky Smiley's audience.
Really?
Yes. So I'm constantly trying to figure out, all right, this type of material is going to hit, this type is going to hit. Mm-hmm. But just a lot of studying and a lot of writing.
Yeah.
Writing is the root and it is the fundamental success. It is fundamentally important for any artist's success. Mm-hmm. If you are not writing, you might as well hang it up.
Yeah.
Like you got to write, you got to learn how to write, and you have to do it incessantly. Mm-hmm. Incessantly.
Rita, you talk about being on tour with Cedric the Entertainer. You talk about being on tour with Ricky Smiley, but you recently did your own tour. Mm-hmm. And what I found to be so amazing about that, never could get a ticket. It seemed like every time you were closer in the area, we had a ministry trip or something. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to say that irritated me, but I really wanted to be there. I'll hit my mic, but I really wanted to be there.
You're serving the Lord.
That being said, I absolutely love that you took other local comedians from Jackson with you.
Yeah.
That was so big for me. And I'll tell you why. Because you find that a lot of people, especially when we get to a certain level of success, we're always willing to empower people who are not as creative, not as funny, not as successful. It's different, I can always go to the hood and pick somebody up, give them a pair of shoes, whatever. But it's when you see people like your friend Merk. Yeah. When you see people like Merk is funny, you know what I'm saying. But to empower people who are strong, I love your heart. I cannot say it enough. I thought that was so amazing. Why do you think it's important for us to not only empower the weak but also empower the strong?
Well, shout out to Kevin Hart. His Plastic Cup Boys group is his friends. Yeah. And they've been together for a long time. And because he trusts them. Mm-hmm. And he wants them to do well, too. Yeah. And I feel the same way.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I've never been of the mindset that I'm just going to blow up and leave my people behind. Mm-hmm. That ain't what God has called me to do. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, to me, if you get the platform, if you get the glory, well, other people need to be able to share that with you. Yeah. So I didn't even think twice about it. Yeah, it's awesome. They need the experience. Mm-hmm. Merk doesn't tour a lot. Like he had never been to Miami. He's excited. And so now he can say he did that, and I love to say that I, played a part in that. Yeah. But we have to empower each other because if we don't, seriously, nobody will.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
There's no God in the sky that's like gonna come out there and all right, I'm getting the black folks. Like we have to do it for each other.
That really inspired me because I'm like, this is how I want to be. Like I want to be. I recently saw Cardi B hyping up the new rapper girl Scarlett. Yeah. She's like, I really want you to be successful. She posted this video telling people to follow her and all the things. I'm like, this is how I want to be. I don't want to be the mean girl. I don't want to be like. I don't care how good you are. I don't want to be intimidated by how good you are because we're both good. Like that means we could be better together, right?
Yeah, I mean, Hillary Clinton had that little slogan. It was no comparison to Make America Great Again. I think that was a better slogan. But when she said stronger together or whatever it was, I felt that.
Yeah.
I felt that. I saw a quote just today. It was saying that, you know, people at the bottom are competing, people at the top are collaborating.
Yes.
You know, we are stronger together.
Absolutely.
You use your resources, I use mine, your strengths, and we put them together, man, unstoppable.
And then it's not just give. I think a lot of people think that if we give other people opportunities on our platform, then it will diminish us. But the reality is, you not lacking nothing. You staying booked. You consistently moving. You doing these corporate gigs. It's like because you've made room for them, God continues to make room for you.
Yeah.
And that's how it works. And I don't know if anybody's listening to this who may be in that sort of space where you don't know if you should or should not put that person on. I think one word that you use is trust. I don't think we should just go, you know, don't bring me on tour with you to do comedy, okay? That's not what you trust me to do, okay?
Yeah.
But you know people who are very much so strong and capable of doing something, and that a collaboration with them would not just empower them, but also empower you. Go forward. Nobody else, I love what you said, nobody else is going to do it for us.
Yeah.
We got to do it for each other.
It is a blessing to be a blessing.
Absolutely.
Because that's what Ricky Smiley has done for me. You know, what if he just kept all that success and glory to himself?
Yeah,
He was like, nah, you coming on tour with me.
Yeah.
7 years later, this
Right.
man still has me on tour with him.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just God has done this for me. And Steve Harvey was his mentor. And he's like, I'm going to do the same thing. And
Yeah.
he gets it. And then God just keeps enlarging his territory.
Yes, he just keeps getting more
enlarging.
and more and more and more. Yeah. You can't give without getting more. And I think a lot of us don't realize, and I don't even mean to go here, but thank you, Holy Spirit. I don't think that a lot of us realize that the things that we want to hold on to and keep is often what keeps us stagnant.
Sure.
Because God will not give you what you cannot release. If you want more, you have to be able to release more. So the more you give, the more you receive. It's just kind of, it's just in his doctrine. That's how it works.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I don't know. Your preaching oil is resting on me today.
Come on with it.
Thank you, Rita. Do you think comedy helps you to laugh about things that other people cry about? Have you ever cried about a moment in your life and later joked about it?
Yeah, I definitely cried about my divorce. And then to the point where I was like having suicidal thoughts.
Really?
Yeah, it was just tough. I just felt like a failure, and it was hard. It was so hard. I had never been through a divorce, you know. And after a while, it was just like, all right, make up your mind, okay? Are you just gonna wallow in your grief, or are you gonna use what God has given you, which is musical talents, comedic talents, and mold it into something else?
Yeah.
And when I started talking about my divorce and my comedy, man,
Yeah.
the kinds of people that were coming up saying they can relate, and because I can say things that they can't say. You know, they talking about stuff in therapy. Shout out to therapy, but the stage is my therapy.
Yeah.
You know, so it is a blessing to have that outlet.
Yeah.
Still go to therapy.
Absolutely.
But it is a blessing to have that outlet, and that's what you're supposed to do as an artist. You know, turn it into your music, turn it into your comedy.
Yeah. Turn it into your power. Your pain becomes your power.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's funny that you say that because we lead right into my next question. As an introvert who lives as a public figure,
How you know I'm an introvert?
You are.
Yeah. How you know?
I went and did my research.
Oh, okay then.
You're an introvert.
Ooh, yes.
Yeah, So, as an introvert who lives as a public figure, why is mental health important to you?
Man, public figures give a lot.
Yeah.
It looks shiny, but it is draining.
Yeah.
Because there's not a place that I can go in the world sometimes and like not be just folks just all in space.
Yeah.
And I'm appreciative. I'm grateful because I'd rather be known than not known.
Yeah, absolutely. That means you're doing something.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely would rather be known than not known. And I hope people feel my kindness when we meet in person. But just know, I have social anxiety.
Yeah.
You know, because I don't know what you about to say.
Yeah.
You nervous. You nervous about meeting me. And then that energy is just, sometimes it can just be weird.
Yeah,
Because folks don't know how to act, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm human. Just say, what's up? How's your day?
Right, right.
So as an introvert, it just goes back to those pockets of peace. I gotta find them.
Yeah.
You know, and I had to let people know. I started saying on Facebook, like, don't come up to me and ask me to tell a joke. I'm not a Cracker Jack box. You can't put a quarter in me.
People come up to you and say, tell me a joke.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, you
I find it hilarious.
You're not gonna go up to no gynecologist and say do your thing.
Yeah.
Are you? Are you? No.
Right.
Come to a show.
Yeah.
But when we out in public, you know what I mean? Like, just treat me like a human.
Right. I'm not on stage.
Right.
Yeah. This is my life off stage.
Yes. And Ricky is a lot more cutthroat than I am.
I can only imagine.
He gets people in line.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, people just, they don't mean bad.
Yeah.
They mean well. But people will come up to you gonna give me a picture.
Whoa.
I'm like, oh, okay. That ain't how we move. You know? So I reflect what I give. If you give me kindness, I'm gonna give you kindness. I lead with kindness.
Yeah.
And that's very obvious when I meet people. So, you know, I just try to be kind, but also watchful.
Absolutely.
You know, folks can be a little weird.
Yeah.
But when I'm off, I'm off.
Yeah.
And most people tell you when I'm out on stage, oh, you laid back. You're not trying to perform. No, because we at a party.
Yeah.
We just chilling, you know? So I think just seeing folks as human is really important. Yeah. Not what they do, but who they are.
Absolutely. And you talked about the joke that you now, was pain before that you now joke about is your divorce. And my next question is about anxiety and depression, and have you ever battled that? Well, you talked about having suicidal thoughts, so I know that you have. So how did you overcome that time of your life when you just felt like a disappointment, when the suicidal thoughts were overwhelming you? Like, how did you navigate through that?
Yeah, your last question was about mental health, and I had forgot the question while I was answering, and it just came back up. Okay. So, mental health. Well, having friends around you that you can be honest with is important.
That's good.
If you have friends in your life where you can't tell them, you know, I'm not feeling 100% today. I'm feeling kind of weak. Yeah. If you can't tell your friends that, they're not your friends. So at the time, I had people in my life that I could talk to. Yeah. And just say, hey man, I'm feeling a little funny. Yeah. You know, like, can you just listen to me? Can you just be with me? Yeah. And that saved my life. And I tell another joke, and this is true. Yeah. This is true. I really did not, two things. I'm a procrastinator. So when I was thinking
never
about,
made me believe that. Wow.
Yeah, when I was thinking about taking my own life, I just kept procrastinating and never got around to it. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. Just procrastinating. Let me check the mail. I'm doing the dishes.
I'm gonna get to it.
I was supposed to be doing something. Forgot.
That's so quiet. You procrastinate.
Yeah, and you have to be careful too. Because if you have stuff at your house that you don't want your parents to find, and you don't, I was like, I can't pass away for my mama because I just don't want her to see certain things in the cabinet. Yeah. So going back, I digress, but going back.
Screaming!
Having friends in your life that you can be honest with. I'm in a group chat with 3 men. And they are very expressive, and I love it. Yeah. And every once in a while, somebody will just put in the group chat, hey man, I'm kind of feeling like I don't want to be here anymore. Yeah. And we...
Safe space, I love it.
Where you at? We coming to you, you know. And the second thing is absolutely get therapy. Yeah. I mean, we've talked years and years about the stigma surrounding therapy and, you know, people being afraid that somebody's going to call them crazy if they're going to therapy. Well, I might argue that you're a little crazy if you don't go to therapy. Right. I might argue that. Yeah. Now, our elders, they are not as familiar with stuff like that. They look at it like, I ain't finna tell no white lady my business. Yeah. Like, that's literally my grandma. Like, I ain't finna tell. Now, she'll tell the people at church her business. She'll tell them, right? But I ain't gonna tell no white lady my business. Okay, we'll get you a black therapist. Okay. You know, find the right therapist. Yeah, find the right therapist and get that help. Yeah. Yeah, because sometimes we just need to talk it out. And there's most often something in your childhood, there's some roots in your childhood that you need to get to.
That's so true.
Yeah. Yeah. Like something really quirky about me. I have a phobia of vomit. It's called emetophobia. Really? Yes, it's a real phobia. I will have panic attacks if I feel like I'm gonna throw up, or if somebody around me is like sick, I will run. Yeah, like that. I'll end this interview right now. I will run. And I kept thinking, like, why am I like this? Why do I have this phobia?
Yeah.
I talked to a therapist, and she said, well, what happened in your childhood? And I recall, like, a couple times my mom got sick. Like, she would cough when she got a cold. She would cough to the point that she threw up. And I felt helpless as a child. Ever since then, I'm just like anti-vomit.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have known that had I not talked to the therapist.
It really reminded you of where this got triggered.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's the trigger? What is the childhood root?
Yeah.
And that's some of what therapy does for you. It just makes you dig deep and go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
How did I get like this? You know? And man, Viola Davis's book about her inner child and it's just important to get therapy.
I think for me, one thing that I discovered in therapy is that in prayer, I believe in therapy and Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that being said, one thing that I discovered in therapy is that one, I'm not very patient, and two, I don't really like authority. But from childhood, I've never had to have authority, so to speak. I was a church kid, not very bad. My brothers were like bad, like they always got in trouble and did stuff. And so I looked at their consequences, and I'm like, you know what, I'm good. I ain't gonna do that. I don't, you know. And so, you know, it kind of created this thing where I don't really have to be watched so much. So I kind of do my own thing, you know. And then being fatherless, so to speak, in some sense, I became very independent, taking care of myself, doing all my own things, whatever. Same. And so now, later in my life, I'm married. Now my husband says to me, I'm like, what? Cup again? Cup again? I don't know who you talking to. Bosses, who you talking to? 'Cause I do what I want. I would literally tell people, I'll do, because I had always done, you know, what I wanted to do. And so therapy has really, really helped me to really overcome that. I don't think I really struggle. I still want to do what I want to do, but I have the wisdom now and the strategy to, in those kind of moments, to know I don't even need to do what I want to do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm learning to embrace this version of my life where I'm getting to know a new Trinity who doesn't do what she wants, because it's not always even necessarily good. And then because I have this desire to really do well, to treat people well, to live well, all the things, I get so annoyed with people who don't. Yeah. Like, I get so annoyed with them, right? And so I'm learning to be patient, and all of that is just, it's really helped my mental health as it pertains to therapy, because I used to be so bent out of shape with people, bent out of shape with circumstances, but therapy has helped me to find the strategy, and Jesus has helped me to find him in the strategy. So it's been amazing. Therapy has been such a blessing to me. I would recommend it for everybody. Like, go, because you are so right when you say the root is in your childhood, for sure. Yeah, and compassion is so underrated. I think I'm 36 now. In the past couple years, I've just learned compassion instead of just leading with anger. Yeah. Like, why did that person do that? Why are they acting like that? Like, it's always something deeper. Yes. And everybody ain't in therapy. You know, so I can't treat you like that when you are untreated. Yeah. Yeah. You know. That's good. So, that's good. Yeah. So I have turned up the compassion, and it is helpful. It's funny that you say that, because I got a content note to create tomorrow that says, as it pertains to people and relationships, it's about compassion and connection. And sometimes when we don't want to be connected to people, we still lack to have compassion. But the Holy Spirit is revealing to me in this season of my life that when you cannot extend connection to someone because they're not treated, you can always extend compassion. Sure. So I love that you brought that out, because that just confirms for me that I'm going on the right path for this week. Yeah. Amen. Thank you, girl. Yeah. So Rita tells me, what keeps you going? You got all the things happening. You're touring. You're living in Atlanta. You're living in Mississippi. You are traveling nonstop. What is keeping you going? I still have work to do. And there are people still here, like Merle Evers and Flonzy Brown Wright. They're still going. Yeah. They're still fighting for what they were fighting for in their youth. How dare I get lazy and just say my work is done? It's not. So if I'm still here, I know that there is more that God has for me. Yeah. If I just trust it. I do believe that, you know, there is a divine path and the divine outcome,
is just around the corner if I just keep going.
Yeah.
I think Maya Angelou, she had this quote. Somebody asked her about suicide, and she said, "Well, how do you know if things will get better if you're not here?" You know, and so that just stuck with me. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna do all I can to stay here and see what God has in store. Because it's been pretty good so far. Not necessarily easy.
Yeah.
You know, everything hasn't been easy. Nothing is perfect. But I think the testimony is better when things are not perfect.
That's good.
So I'm just looking forward to whatever God has next.
I love it. If you finished your book today, and you could title this season of your life with the book, and of course we know you're a writer. What would you title your book for this season of your life?
Well, the working title right now is Born Funny.
I love it.
And I mean that in more ways than one.
Yeah.
Born Funny.
This is so funny.
But it probably would be the song that I just wrote, which is Bad Mother.
Yeah.
Bad
I love
Mother.
that. I love that.
And that means just owning who you are. I mean, it's a difference in being arrogant and just being confident in who you are and who God has created you to be. So just making that distinction. Like sometimes you gotta look at yourself, you know, like, you know what, I'm a bad mother.
Yeah.
I have overcome some things. I'm a bad mother.
Period.
You know, I've created these things.
Yeah.
I'm a bad mother.
Yeah.
People love me. I love people.
Yeah.
So I think it's just owning who you are and walking in that. Yeah, that would be the title today.
You know, you're small in stature, but you're a big deal, right? Like, very big deal. And
Hey, hold on, man. I've been working out, bro. Shout out to Kayla.
Yeah, shout out to Kayla. That's my
Shout
friend.
out to Kayla, my trainer.
You been getting it in, girl?
Yeah,
I
man.
love that
I
for
was
you.
getting a little, and my grandma would call me Po. She said I was getting Po.
Okay.
And I was like, that hit different. You know, I don't like, I've heard skinny, but Po? I was like, nah, let me go on here. So I've been drinking Ensure. I've been working out. I've been in there lifting that iron with Kayla.
Yeah.
And my butt has gotten big, and I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Okay, big butt.
Yeah. I don't know if that's my ministry, but I'm embracing it.
Okay, girl.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. So, being that you're a big deal, a lot of people here, a lot of my friends are definitely big deals. And I want your advice to the person who doesn't know what to do when they walk into the rooms, they walk into the spaces, and people there are intimidated by them. What's your advice?
When people are intimidated by the big deal person? Oh, boy.
Because you talked about being confident, and you talked about being arrogant, and there is a difference. And, you know, it's funny how confidence really rubs people, you know?
It does.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be honest with you, Trinity.
Okay.
I let the Holy Spirit lead me. And that's real.
Yeah.
I can be in a room of 100 people.
Yeah.
And if it's one person that I want to get to, God's going to lead me to that person. I'm telling you, every time.
Yeah.
It may be in the bathroom. It's just like, if I say what it is that I want, God will enable me to manifest it. Yeah. But I don't think that you should make yourself small in any room. Don't make yourself small. People
have you ever
will
struggled
catch
with that? Have you ever made yourself small in certain spaces?
Maybe I tried to. God is like, what you doing?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Just exist the way I created you to be.
Yeah, I love it.
So yeah, I just say be authentically yourself.
Yeah.
Don't make yourself small for anybody. Don't ever do that.
Yeah.
People will catch up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They will.
Your light doesn't dim other people's light. And if it does, well, that's their problem.
Absolutely.
I think that's probably the advice. Stop adopting problems that you didn't create.
That's good.
You know, your growth is your responsibility, and it's other people's responsibility. So I'm not going to take responsibility for your intimidation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just come on with me.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's really great advice. So I have this game.
All right.
And it is titled Do Tell.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And this is a conversational game. It gets you to express yourself. It's not your typical spades or anything.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you some questions and you just shoot.
Hold on.
Now, if you cannot answer my questions, you have to do a good deed. I do not have my good deed cards, so I might need you to hand those to me.
I'm going to say I left my wallet in the car.
So, are you ready?
Yes.
Are you known to hold a grudge?
Now, why you ask me that after we've been talking about the Holy Spirit? Am I known to hold a grudge? In my youth, yes.
Okay.
Yes. The person who comes to mind is my dad.
Okay.
You had mentioned being fatherless earlier. He's always been close, but not close enough.
Gotcha.
Where I couldn't get to him emotionally. And just now, in my older age, we've kind of started to build a relationship. But yeah, I held a grudge for a long time.
Gotcha.
And then, once again, God was like, hey, the forgiveness is for you. It's not for the other person.
Yeah.
Because I just kept saying, I forgive him. I don't forgive him. I forgive him. And I was like, it's for me.
Yes.
So, yeah, I have learned to let grudges go quicker.
Yes.
Right. But it also depends on the offense. Let me say that.
I think forgiveness is definitely a process.
Yeah.
Yeah. Depending upon the offense. Stepping on my shoe and I don't know. Stepping on my shoes, okay, I can forgive you quickly for that. Lying on me, I need some time.
Yeah, because
yeah.
I had a certain person, Jackson, one of these fake social media personality people, made up something about me and put it out there on his platform, and it was so far left field.
Wow.
Like it was so far left field.
Yeah.
Like accused me of doing some stuff with some folks I had never met.
Wow.
That
That's
grudge is fresh. It's fresh. It's in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so
So
funny.
it depends on the offense.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, especially for strangers. I'll be honest now. If it's a stranger, somebody I don't know, I don't fool with,
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna hold that grudge.
Yeah.
But
we don't even know each other, but you just go make up stuff. Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm just like, God don't
But
like ugly.
I think that's the only way you need to make up something is because you don't know me.
Right.
You know, and some people will use because you're a big deal. You're the big deal. So
Oh yeah, it was all
if I
clout.
talk about you, I get attention.
It was all clout.
Yeah.
Yeah. And thank God the rumor, it didn't really go anywhere. And this guy is in a world of trouble right now. But yeah, so to answer your question, grudge for strangers, yes. For people I love, I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to do better.
Okay, I got your next one. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Describe a time when you felt insecure. How did you overcome this feeling?
When I was dressing like you.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I felt very insecure because I'm very tomboyish. I always have been. So wearing girly stuff and trying to figure out how to switch and be attractive to men. Oh boy, I never felt more insecure. Wow. I don't know how I got my ex-husband. I'll tell you what, I know how.
Okay.
Because we met in the military.
Okay.
So most of the time.
You were in uniform.
Yeah.
Got it.
And when I wasn't, I had me a little dress from Rainbow, back when Rainbow was popping. And I fooled him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've never felt so insecure than I did when I was dressing super girly.
Wow.
I was just trying to. Yeah. That's just not me. And that has nothing to do with sexuality.
Yeah.
Just some women just don't like dressing super feminine.
Yes,
yeah.
and it's okay. What people don't know about me is I be in gym clothes like every day. I be chilling. I think coming into this role as a show host and everything has really. I always like to be cute. Now, don't get me wrong. I want to be cute, but I think when people see me modeling. When they see the show, all the things, they're convinced that I'm like this. Yeah. So when they run into me at the Walmart or Kroger's, and they're like, "Oh, hey girl, I'm still your friend." Yeah. I'm not that girl. I'm the only girl of 8 children, so I have 7 brothers. Wow. And I'm a basketball fanatic, and what I love about my husband is he's okay with me being me. So I don't have to. Even my clothing preference is not that of his choice, of course. Yeah. But I be chilling. Yeah. I be chilling.
And that's to say, I play ball half my life.
Yeah.
It's just something about playing basketball. You just want to be comfortable.
Yes.
And if you look at pictures when I first started doing comedy at 13, I was like dressed to the nines all the time. Looked like a first lady every show.
Not first lady.
Every show.
You had a hat.
No hats. But I wore the heels, and then I noticed that I wasn't moving like I could on stage. I was limiting myself, and so now that I dress more comfortably, like I'm jumping off stage, I'm more physical, and it has helped my comedy, the comfortability of it all. So
I actually like seeing you in the tux or the suits that you wear.
Yeah. Shout out to Kyrie's Customs, local. Once again, local suit maker. Man, the dude is a beast. Yeah. So I'm comfortable in that kind of stuff.
Do your thing. I love that for you too.
Thank you.
Okay, Rita, I want to end with asking you this question. Tell me, what are you looking forward to accomplishing on a personal level? And what are you looking forward to accomplishing on a public level?
Personal level, this is a corny answer, but I really want to build up my retirement, man.
Okay.
I want to invest in something. So I'm looking into vending machines, laundromats, all kind of stuff. You know, financial security is not always common. And I want to accomplish that, not just for me, but for my family.
That's a great corny goal.
Yeah, that's a personal goal.
Yeah.
You know, they don't teach us the things that we need to know in school. To this day, I've not used the Pythagorean theorem. Have you?
No.
Okay.
I ain't used it yet.
Okay.
Still mad about that thing.
Yeah. Still trying to understand taxes and investing and all that. So I want to get more fluent in those things. On a public level, man, I think I want to go ahead and start my Fedora hat line and get people into that. Yeah. Every time I have one on, people are like, yo, when you gonna start selling your hats? You know? So start selling my style. The very thing that I used to be insecure about. I want to sell it.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's so funny. Even though you may not describe it as pain, it's amazing how God will use the things that we felt embarrassed about, that made us uncomfortable. Once we heal, it's the very thing that God uses. It's amazing to me.
Yes.
So yeah, I can't wait to rock one of your hats. It's gonna be easy for me, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, super easy.
and the last public thing that I hope to accomplish is existing outside of social media. Yep.
I love that.
I'm
What does
tired
that?
of it.
What does that even mean? What does that look like?
I don't want to be on social media
At all.
No, I'm not a fan of it. It's addictive. It is beneficial now. I cannot say that. A lot of my bookings come from social media.
Yeah.
But I don't like that. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I want to do is check notifications. I don't like it. And it's just, it can be toxic too.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm out in public and I see folks on their phones instead of enjoying their date.
Yeah.
And it's just kind
Everybody at the table on their phone.
Yeah, it's just kind of taking
But
over. I get it.
I don't really, I engage with people, but when I'm in people I don't want to engage with, I be on my phone.
Yeah.
Is that bad?
Well, you know.
Sometimes I have to, like depending on the setting and what I'm doing, who I have to be with them. I would naturally I wouldn't choose to be with them.
Yeah.
But we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
So
I don't want to be a friend. A friend to you, yes.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be just like a little social media zombie.
Absolutely.
I want to recreate and exist differently publicly.
I love that.
Outside of social media. That's a big goal for me.
It is something that I think as I've been growing Friend Fusion, growing my brand, your friend trend, all the things, I have had to create a balance with social media because it will consume you.
Yes.
It really will. I think at one point I was chasing down doing videos every day. I'm like, no, I'm just gonna create a content calendar. And now I'm posting and getting off. And people ask me, did you see this? You see this? I'm like, yeah. Posted and get off because
and they really keep adding consuming stuff. You got stories, you got reels.
Yeah.
If you're gonna post a video, you got to post it on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Yo, like how I'm gonna create if I'm on social media all the time.
I told my husband, I was like, I cannot wait until I have somebody to do this for me.
Facts.
Because that's quite a bit.
Yeah, so that's a big public goal.
I didn't understand when you said that at first, but existing outside of social media, and my platform is not nearly as big as yours. I get it.
Yeah, because it's getting to the point now where people that I know, they're posting things on social media instead of us talking to each other. And I'm having to find out big news on social media.
Yeah.
And that's hurtful to me.
Yeah.
Like friends? We supposed to be friends?
Yeah, but this is a way of life now.
Yeah, I'm finding this out of social. That's wild. That's wild to me.
Yeah.
So I want to be a human again outside of social media.
I don't want to be a friend and a follower anymore.
I'm tired.
That's crazy.
Reading comments, want to go find folks. No, man, I'm tired of it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Let's get back to touching each other, loving each other.
Yeah. You might want to add some context because she said touching each other. You might want to add a little context.
When I say touching each other,
I'm just kidding. But this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Talking to people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Instead of being on my social media, like I know exactly what's going on in Rita's life because of what she's posting. No, you don't.
You don't.
You can't get none of these answers on social media.
Yeah. And the truth is, sometimes you post and then you crying. You got to post the content.
That part. Is it even real?
Yeah, it's real.
That part.
Well, Rita, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for this conversation. Thank you for being with me. You could be anywhere in the world because you are the Rita Brent, right? Okay.
That.
And I honor that. I appreciate you so much for showing up for me, for showing up for my friends and who are now your friends.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing behind the scenes with us. When I watched your other interviews, and I went and did this deep dive on you. First of all, I couldn't believe you were an introvert, but I hit you with that one, huh? You was like, how you know?
Yeah, I talk about it enough.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me, though.
Absolutely.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
This is a jump.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah. I'm excited to see what God takes to both of us. But before we leave, is there anything you'd like to share with our viewers?
Yeah, follow me on social media. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Follow me on what I don't want to be on.
Right.
Rita Brent Comedy, Facebook, Instagram.
So
just be on the lookout though. I do have a new song, Bad Mother, that's coming. Do the Hoochie Daddy is out now.
Yes.
It tis Hoochie Daddy season.
It is.
They are reaching out to me. Their wives are reaching out to me like, where can I find my man some Hoochie Daddy shorts?
That's hilarious.
Download my music, Do the Hoochie Daddy, and Bad Mother, MUTHA, is coming. So thanks for all the support. Yes.
Absolutely. Well, guys, thank you for joining us for this episode of Friend Fusion titled Behind the Scenes. It has certainly been a blessing to me, and I know it has been to you. I cannot wait to see you guys on the next episode of Friend Fusion. Until then, live well, love well, and friend well. Bye, friends.
Oh my! What? Why are you in my right over here fighting like this?
Victim, and I will never be
Me. Your apology to me. Understand? I won't, and I don't. You know.
Did you really think I was going to play nice with you? Did you really think I was going to come in here and be what? Above it all?
You are a mean woman.
You asked for it.
Friend Fusion.